It's been a while since I've talked to everybody out there like this, at least. And I was waiting for the correct time. And for me, the correct time was once my deal was up with Impact Wrestling. And I fully understand that there's two sides to every story. There's two sides to everything. There's going to be two sides of people out there that watched this or saw my statement yesterday, and some people are going to support me. Some people are going to continue to rip on me, and both sides are not going to fully understand this until all the steps of the lawsuit are gone through. And that's really the point of having to go to courts, because I can say anything online. For instance, I post up evidence and actual evidence, the other person's words, to prove what was accused of me was false. And there's some people that had messaged me and said, I'm sorry, I felt this way before. You ask, well, why do you feel this way? And they said, I felt this way because Impact Wrestling fired Joey Ryan and fired Dave Christ and said that they were going to investigate you and you'd be suspended pending further review. And then a day later, I was taken off TV, which made them believe the things that were said of me, the accusations made, had to be true. Because there was a public statement, publicly, online, that Impact Wrestling would investigate the issues said against me while firing two other people. And then when they announced that I'm off TV, I'm not saying everybody, I'm not saying they even worded it that way, but the majority of websites, and I have the list of them, stated I was fired due to accusations. So if I'm fired from a large company due to accusations made online, if I try to go get a job elsewhere, I'm already deemed guilty. Because publicly, all the public knows is that there would be an investigation into the issues against me, and then I was taken off TV. So if I was taken off TV, it's easy to believe I was fired. The point of stating I was being paid this whole time was due to the fact of it was a lie. It was a lie that people thought I was fired. It was a lie that the company had let linger and go on, that due to whatever they found in their investigation, I would be fired. Now, they had already made an investigation into another person in the Impact Wrestling Company. If you search hard enough, you can find it. And the only difference is that there was no names named in that investigation. But they investigated and they made a statement through online websites that they investigated and found no merit to the accusations against the, backstage member, or however they worded it. But it was like an executive of the company or something along those lines. So there was a history of Impact making investigations and clearing people. So if they're going to make an investigation, still pay me, then I was innocent, right? I didn't make those claims. But the internet thinks I did. So if I start getting announced when I'm a free agent, the mob mentality is going to try to harass those promoters until they no longer use me, which means I don't have a way to support my child. And that's an important part of this video. In no way am I saying I'm perfect. Not at all. In no way am I saying I haven't made mistakes. Not at all. Have I said some stupid stuff? Yeah, I definitely have. Am I always perfect in every way? God, no. If I was, then I would have beat the game. You learn and you grow, and you learn and you grow. And for some reason, the world doesn't want to react that way. You know, there's a court system, there's a jail system to try and make people better. And in the court system, in this avenue, it's all about getting the truth out from both sides. Because I could sit here and tell you everything that's went on behind the scenes in the last year and a half, but you have no way to know if I'm telling the truth. I could post emails, but then that could open up legal trouble for me if I'm posting emails or talking about phone calls I had with the company. But if they are issued through discovery and depositions in this lawsuit, it will become public record. And you can't lie under oath, which means this is all about getting the truth out. This is all so I can get back to what I know and what I love. And some people are going to hate that too. And some people are going to reply to this video saying, oh, you're the scum of the earth. You shouldn't wrestle. I shouldn't wrestle. I shouldn't be able to provide for my family because somebody said something and you never cared to hear the entire story. You never cared to see my side of things. Look at it like this. Russia has invaded Ukraine. I do not agree with that. If you're watching this, you probably don't agree with it either. I support Ukraine, and I hope that there's not mass casualties, and I'm hoping that we can get through this without a huge new world war. But Putin believes he's right, and nobody wants to see that. I'm not saying he is right. I'm not saying what's happening in the world is right. It's not. It's rotten. It's terrible. But Putin believes his side is correct. You see that? It's weird, right? So everybody is going to complain, well, Michael Hogan was paid this whole time. That seems like a dream job. Why would he? That's not a dream job. I don't want to be paid to sit at home. I want to get paid to do something I feel I'm really good at. I want to get paid to do something I love. Not being in the ring sucks. It's been over a year since I've had a match. I started this crazy journey when I was 14 years old. I'm 35. That means I have been a part of wrestling and made my living doing so my entire life. It's all I know. It's all I love. I'm passionate about it. I shouldn't say it's all I love because clearly I love my son. But also wrestling becomes a means to support my son. So everything trickles downhill. And I've talked about this before. Yes, indeed, my ex-fiance, not my ex-wife that I have a son with, did go to get a restraining order against me. Now, a restraining order, if you go to court and you fight it, and you lose, it's in place for 2 years. This was in place for 6 months, and I'm going to tell you why. And I couldn't go in depth before. And this is why this has to be done, why the lawsuit has to be done. I have all this evidence against my ex, which you can see the video up. One video got taken away because it was a little too real and people didn't want to hear my side of the story. So I fixed the video. I took out some of the text and I blanked out her name and her number and I put it up. And you can see it all there. So all of her accusations against me in everything she said is false. But her lawyer calls my lawyer and says, look, let's leave this in place for 6 months. I don't want to do that. I don't want that because it can cause me trouble. And then the lawyer says, look, we're going to tell the judge to look this guy up online. And he's going to see all these accusations that a company had investigated and didn't clear his name. So now my client's going to say, look, he did all this stuff to me. It's online. He does it all the time. And even though it had nothing to do with her, my lawyer said, I would suggest not going to court, taking the 6 months, because it will look different, the way they word it in the system. I don't know what that wording is because I'm not a lawyer. It will look different because no matter what we say, there's a trail online that you did these things, that it was investigated, and that your name wasn't cleared. She has you by the balls. So I took the 6 months. See how it trickles downhill? This is much deeper than just one instance that you know of in June 2020. It's a year and a half of emails and phone calls. And remember when I started taking bookings and then people got on my case of, well, if you're going to take bookings and you're not an asshole, why are you canceling bookings? Maybe there's something more to that. I had tweeted out a picture of being asked to go to Japan in February of 2021 to Budokan. Budokan, which is a famous arena. It's an arena that All Japan made famous. All Japan is the company that Noah began from. You think that's not special to me? So why didn't I end up going? Was it because of Corona, or in February of 2021, Did you just need to go to Japan and quarantine for 2 weeks? See, there's a grander story to everything, but I can't just sit here and tell you because you don't have to believe me. There's a lot to this story. And I have to go to court and I have to proceed with this lawsuit so that all becomes public knowledge. You can do that reaction that you have, that thing where you just want to jump on one side of an issue without ever fully understanding both sides. That's okay. That's your right to do that. I've seen it before. I mean, it happened to me. People were on me. I sue somebody, I win the lawsuit, and they're still on me, but they're a little bit quieter because they realize they messed up. I just want a fair shot. Everything has been about a fair shot. So I want to see this investigation they made, and I want it to become yours. I want it to be public record. I want to see the investigation of where they cleared somebody, see what was the difference of the investigations, right? I want to see all these things and everything that's happened to me. Now I need a legal answer of why things were said via text or phone call or email. I'm going to go through all of this. And all this is going to become public record. So yes, you can jump on me for this video. You can jump on me for the post I made on Twitter. But now the proof I have against allegations that took me off TV will be public record. Not just on my YouTube page, but public record through the courts. And anything they investigated will be public record. This is what's needed for me. Whether you understand it, believe it or not, I want you to judge me by the truth. See, I can sit here and say whatever I want, and you will have to decipher whether I'm being honest, whether I'm being open, whether I'm telling you the truth, or whether I'm not. But through a court of law, it is illegal to say something or provide an ounce of proof, evidence I should say, and that not be the actual email, the actual text, the actual investigation, the actual transcripts of a phone call. That has to be legally binding, which means it has to be exactly what happened. That's the point of this. The point is, I want to provide for my family. Because you just think one thing. And the truth is, people, don't fake suicide. I was ready to take my own life because they used the original no public statement about the investigation. My ex used that against me. And I wanted to end my life because I was lost. I didn't know how to provide for my son. I didn't know what I was going to do, and my contract was deemed to be up of April of this year because my name had been tarnished. All due to stating you're going to make an investigation and then taking me off TV, which made everybody believe that investigation led to my guilt. And I was ready to end my life when I posted that video in July. And then I was put in a hospital due to that. And then I started to act fine. And up until I decided to fight back, post my evidence online, and talk to a lawyer about the situation with Impact Wrestling, on April 15th, I was planning to end my own life. April 15th, so a month and a half from now. Because I thought that was the only way I could get my story out. That's the only way people would then look at the evidence that I provided, that I could say how I felt and what went down with Impact Wrestling, and you would be forced to listen because it would be like a deathbed confession. Here you go. Here's everything that has happened behind the scenes that you have nothing about, and this is why I'm falling apart. So do you know what it's like to want to feel the only way out is to end your own life? And that all started in June 2020 when Impact Wrestling stated that they were going to make an investigation into claims against me while they fired 2 others and then taking me off TV so social media thought I was guilty. Now, what brought us from June 2020 to currently, there's a lot more. And through this lawsuit, it's going to become publicly available to you.